What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case, and you are now tuned into the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is June 9th, 2023, and I'm here with my co-host, as usual, Kevin A. Lewis and Jude A. Jackson. Jude, say what's up to the people.
Hey everyone, hope things are going well. It's Friday today, and as Case and Kev can see, we are in the same area on Friday because they think I just forget about them on the weekends, but as you can see, we are here together as a family.
Jude is finally fulfilling a work obligation. He's contractually obligated to be here on a Friday night because our guest special guest Mariano.
He's mad as hell to be here. Don't let that
Don't let him fool you.
He's mad as hell.
He had to be here.
He's mad as hell to be here. He's looking forward to being able to fuck away from us. He will have an illustrious guest on Friday. On what day? He said what he said. What day?
Friday. You have to be.
That's the Joker. That's the Joker laugh right there. Like, oh, word. Okay, cool.
Right.
The more I look into this laugh, the more I'm in some shit right now. So,
right. And of course, you got Kevin Lewis. Kevin's going on with you, bro.
Hey, glad to be here. I know some of us like to dip like on Friday at 4:59 and don't talk until Monday. But unlike Jude, this is normal for me. So yeah. I'm happy to be here and happy to be back on since I was out of town the last time y'all recorded. So happy to be here.
Yes, and of course, our special guest tonight is Mariano from All for the Love podcast. Yes. It's been a while. Not a while. What am I saying? I followed Mariano for a minute. Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know who Mariano is the holder of one of the most classic tweets ever twoked in Twitter history. This when I say this is a picture perfect caption, mellow off the Henny and a few pulls of sour, ready to jeopardize it all. This tweet went beyond viral. Like for 2014, for those who don't know, for 2014, if your tweet goes viral 2014, I'm gonna let Mariano explain. Mariano, let the people know who you are.
Yeah. I mean, so pretty much like to your point, right, about a tweet going viral in 2014 versus now. Like right now, you could still navigate Twitter and not even really understand how much your tweet is like spread out there. But 2014, I couldn't use my Twitter app for like 2-3 days, like because I couldn't see my timeline. My whole timeline was full of my tweet. And at one point, I thought like my Twitter was broken. And I was like, all right, well, I probably just can't use Twitter no more. You know what I'm saying? But then I had DMs, and I'm going to tell you when I knew it was crazy. I grew up listening to Cameron's music. He's one of my favorite rappers of all time. This is back when Instagram used to like do the repost shit where they would cut out who tweeted the tweet, and you could just see the content. Cam posted it, and Somebody tweeted me and was like, yeah, this was funny when Cam said it. And I was like, I said it before Cam. And he was like, yeah, why would Cam take your post and da-da-da? And in my head, I was like, you know what? You actually have a good point. I'm right, but you have a good point, though. Like, why would Cam take my, you know what I'm saying? That's when I knew it was beyond me. And I was like, okay, this tweet is bigger than me now. Like, it's just out. Mm-hmm. And since then, it's been Fat Joe put it in a song. J. Cole put it in a song. Like, it's been out there.
Yo, J. Cole definitely put it in the song. And I remember you tweeted it out. And I'm just like, yo, that's a great thing about it. Like, when Twitter is great, it just brings people together from all walks of life. And a lot of us are closer than we seem and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So when Cole said it, I was like, damn, this nigga Mariano. That's just fire. Because if that happened now, it would have been off the charts if it happened now. It was crazy for them then. If it happened now, it would have been even crazier. But definitely glad to have you on. Way overdue have you on.
No, for sure. I'm happy to be here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, people always say, like, oh, appreciate you. Like, I really appreciate, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as you reached out, immediately, the second you reached out, and it was like, yo, let's do it. Win. Let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Absolutely. Avid Giants fan at that too as well. Avid Giants fan.
Don't remind me.
Super cool.
No, listen, we had Hefe on.
Okay.
Jeff. We had him on. I think it was during the season we had him on talking about the coaching staff and
it was right before they got whooped by the Eagles.
Yeah, they lost to the Eagles, stuff like that. But I mean, we were like the first topic is not football, but since you are a Giants fan, we're gonna jump into it real quick. How did you feel with everything going on into last season and going on during the season, and how you feel now with like Daniel Jones is the franchise quarterback? Little question mark around Saquon Barkley, but heading into this season, the way Dable coached this team up, like he did exactly what I guess a few fans expected because with the roster and everything like that, it was like, there's no way you get this team to the playoffs, and at least much less 9 wins. You know what I mean? He did a lot. So how do you feel about that? I know you're very vocal about it. So how do you feel?
Yeah. So if you would have asked me maybe 2-3 years ago about how I felt about Daniel Jones, you probably would have got a different response than what you'll get now. I will say that this is the first time this season under Dayball in this new front office that I've actually been excited going into Giants games. Like whether I feel like we're going to win or lose, I've been excited to watch the game because that Green Bay game, that was the game where I was like, you know what? They got me. Win, lose, or draw for the rest of the season. Really, let me stop lying. It was the Titans game, like week 1 or something.
It was week 1. Yeah,
week 1. When we won, I was like, hey, whatever Dayball is on, I'm with that this season because in the past couple of years, we would have lost that game by 45 points. You know what I'm saying? Like easily too. So I was on board. You know what I mean? I think with Daniel Jones, you know what you're going to get. So going into Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays, whenever we play, if you're mad, then that's on you. That's your problem. You got to make your peace with Daniel Jones right now. You either like him or you don't. And if you don't tune into the games.
That's true.
I like him. I do like him. He, like I said, that Green Bay game, I was like, man, we could have quit. We could have quit and just got beat by 50 points, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he got my vote, man. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Say whatever you want to say. Man. I'm a Giants fan. What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Now watch the games. What I say every summer. Now the Giants do. They're gonna do this to me no more. They're not gonna get no Sunday. I don't care no more. And then 2-3 days go by, and I'm like, man, I can't wait till the Giants play. Like, I'm just ready. So,
I mean, I was intrigued too because I was on the show. We definitely talking about like Coach of the Year candidates. I feel like Dable and Salah were the top candidates early on in the season. But as you know, of course, it just kind of faded away. I'm like, man, he's still doing a lot with the RAS scores as 63 or 68. Like the roster score was just terrible. I'm like, but he was finding gems. Especially on the defensive side. So I was definitely invested in what the Giants were doing, just watching to see if another New York team is going to make it to the playoffs. And there hasn't been – and I remember – I'll tell you this much. I remember I was tapped into the Giants when Ron Dane got drafted. And they were doing the whole Thunder and Lightning. I was a big – no, I was
what
a big
year
one.
For the non-boomers out here, what year was that?
That was like 02, right?
It was
02. That was a long time ago. I can't believe we mentioned Ron Dane 8 minutes into the fucking.
That's crazy.
For a couple of reasons. During that time, I was big into college football. I was watching everything, so I knew that he had a chance to win the rushing record. But it was like a long shot, and he did it.
He was drafted in 2000. Sorry to cut you off.
It was a long shot, and he did it. And then one of my close friends, his sister was dating him, so. Like I knew a couple of like, oh yeah, he's outside his crib and everything like that. He was chilling. I don't want to say certain things. Some people may feel like an attribute. Understood. Yeah. But so just being invested in Tiki Barber and the Thunder and Lightning thing, I was like, I think the Giants are gonna pull off something special with these two dudes. He didn't quite get there where he needed to be. But I haven't been tapped into the Giants as much as I've been tapped in, like, last season. And it has a lot to do with the coach and the front office and doing what they're doing.
Yeah. They make me excited about the Giants again. I will say that 100%. Like, going into each week, regardless of who he was playing, I looked at it and was like, yo, Dayball is on that sideline. I feel like we got a chance to win. In most games we did. Even the games that we lost, they were good football games. Like, usually what you're used to seeing from the Giants, and I know Jets fans love this, but what you see from the Giants is when we get beat, we get steamrolled. And it's like we just don't look good on any side of the ball. But this past season, even when we lost, it was like, okay, well, at least I can go watch the tape from this game. And years past, I couldn't even look at this team the next week.
That was the most watchable the Giants have been in a long time.
Absolutely.
5, 6, 7 years, probably. Yeah, it was the most watchable the Giants have been for a while.
Because even during the Eli years, I don't think the Giants. I think that the expectations were there, but I don't think the Giants were watchable like during the Eli years. Like the playoff runs were watchable.
Outside of that,
it was like, oh man, dude, I don't want to watch this play, man. Like this is. I mean, I'm a Jets fan. This is a Jets fan.
I'm gonna let y'all get this off. Eli's my goal. I'm gonna let y'all get this off though. It's cool.
Ben McAdoo got fired for telling the truth.
Oh shit, man! Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all, man. Now that's the only time that I looked at him was like, damn, bro, they're gonna really put this black man in for this white man. Like, right now, we really doing this? And this right now, that's the only time I've ever said that. That's the only in my life. That's the only time I've ever said that. But it's Eli Manning. I mean, what you want me to do? You know what I'm saying?
Gino must have a Kill Bill list because I know playing the MetLife twice.
He did his thing last season, man. Listen, and I'm happy to see it because usually black quarterbacks don't get a chance to at redemption. You know what I'm saying? Like let's skip over the fact of getting a chance to prove themselves. We're talking about redemption. Like the league was done with Gino. Like, nah, he can't even do it. Right. And then last year he's an MVP candidate. Like, shout out to Gino. And then even the stuff he's saying in interviews, when people asking him about his job, and he's like, "Yo, there's people in the world that would kill to have my job. Like, this is whatever. Like, what I'm gonna complain about?
Right.
Like, he's beyond the game when I say shout out to Gino. So
and like that, and how he could play is that they let him stay around as a backup for that long after his rep, fear or not, was torn up. And he stayed around for that. That's how he could play. Because if he couldn't have played, he'd have been out of the league 8 years ago.
If he couldn't play, if he couldn't contribute in any way, whether it's like just your knowledge of the game, your knowledge of the culture, the locker room. Can you be a good person? I think that speaks to Gino being. What I think is more important is like a good person. You know what I mean? Like he's somebody outside of football that I can fuck with no matter what team he's on.
Right. We got three Gino fans on here. We got one hater. I'm gonna let you.
I'm not a hater anymore. I was wrong. I was a hater many years ago because I just didn't like turnovers. I'm fine with him now. Now I just hate.
You speaking of the past tense? We like, yo, okay. You said Sam Darnold now. Okay.
Yeah, but now I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. Sam Darnold no more.
Oh, we know. Okay. We know because we saw them thread that you were getting up at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock in the morning
on Monday morning, writing them shits out. Like,
hey, that's when you know that's when you know because the game's been over with for like
mad long,
8 hours now, 8 hours, something like that. And you wake up like you
paid $0.
And
one more thing. You see Sam after the game.
So y'all ain't seen the third quarter? 11 minutes, 37 seconds up. You didn't see the third. All right, cool,
bro.
If Juice started breaking down film, I would have lost my shit. He started breaking down film. But
I'd have blocked him for real. Like for real, blocked him. If I see like. Sam was supposed to hit the sail rod on the backside. Like, oh yeah,
But Kev, man, did you guys expect to find fans? When I say this term, I use the term loosely, worse than Jude, because when I say worse in quotations, because Jude's not a bad fan, but there's some bad Jets fans. Like they're like when I say like. They're making a career out of just analyzing every single thing. Like we're not on Hard Knocks, so we're doing like, yo, like all right, it's over.
Oh, you mean the types who have spaces going on, like 24 hours a day, even in June when there's literally no football going on?
11:30 at night, like, bro, okay, it's summertime,
like, bro. You wake up to go to work, and you open the app, and you see the spaces. It's 9 o'clock at night. You about to turn down and get ready to go to sleep. You see the same spaces, same people. It's still 80 people. It's like, bro, it was 80 people there this morning. Like y'all haven't deviated from this at all. Like the whole day.
I think I might be blessed to know like some, because most of my my home team is like New York based, Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, like it's spread out. And the Jets fans that I know are usually like Kev, to be honest. Like it's like they're like because when I see Kev talk about the Jets, Kev is never one way or the other. It's never too hype, it's never too low. It's like, hey man, this is the Jets. And so when I look at Kev, I can rely on if the Jets pick up a player, I can rely on his analysis for it because I understand that he's right in the middle on this. He's like, okay, cool, this is what he can do, this is what he can't. Like this is where I'm at. This is just He's a logical Jets fan. I don't know if y'all ever heard those words together back to back like that.
No,
but he's a logical Jets fan. And shout out to my brother Joey. Love Joey. He's from the Bronx. He's a Jets fan. He's the same way like Kev. He's like, okay, cool. Like this is just what it is. So the Jets fans that I know probably have spoiled me because I get on Twitter and I'm like,
yeah, who the fuck
man, like there's a lot of bad Jets fans out here. Like, because you got to understand the Jets are like, in the NFL, like how the Cowboys and the Lakers get talked about in the NBA. Like even when nothing's going on, whether it's right or wrong, they're gonna talk about the Jets. Oh, the Jets is this, Jets is that, and it's like I see the fans come out and I'm like, damn, man, y'all been Jets fans for how long? Like, why y'all still doing this?
Yo, I don't think I even seen you tweet about Giants OTAs, not once. I think Jeff like took time off. Like I know it doesn't scare. I think he's there, but he's not really like overkill. The people I follow who are Jets fans is like they're going on.
Bro, they are analyzing Zach Wilson throws from fucking OTAs, dude.
Bro, because it don't matter. A lot of shit just doesn't matter. I think a lot of people are just loyal to content.
Bro, I can't think of anything Zach Wilson could do right now that would matter. I don't even on the field, off the field. He could save kids from a burning building. I don't care what. I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear anything Zach Wilson related whatsoever. It could be the most good Samaritan thing that has ever been recorded in human history. Don't want to hear it. He made a good throw in OTAs. Don't want to hear it. Shit, he made a bad throw in OTAs. Don't want to hear that either. I don't want to. He's a backup. Like we weren't interviewing Joe Flacco this time last year. We weren't interviewing Chris Streveler. We weren't interviewing Josh McCown the years before that. And we're still talking about, oh, how does it feel to be back in the Aaron Rodgers? He's still getting a paycheck. How the fuck do you think he feels?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and to be fair to him, I would be using like when I'm back on Aaron Rodgers. Like, look at these dudes. These other dudes is backing up. Like, talk to me nice. First of all, if I was him, he probably got no style and none of that. But I'm just saying.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so he don't know how to flip that or whatever. But I mean,
old January 6th face don't know nothing about that.
Yeah. I could imagine.
Yo, McAllen, we need a sponsorship, all right? We need a sponsorship. We definitely need a sponsorship because this is what I be on every time we record these podcasts.
No wonder you be coming up with some of the bullshit.
I'm looking at your shirt. No. Is that a Tipsy shirt? Is that?
It's Tipsy Tommy. It's from the parade when they won a couple years ago. When the Bucks won a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
It's a clothing brand. It's a label. It's called the Dirt Label back home. Detroit, Michigan brand, you know what I mean? So they always put out like some, like topical stuff, timely stuff, Detroit-based stuff. But then there's something big happening in sports, they usually get on, right on that and put something out. So I grabbed this when it dropped. That's when he was throwing the trophy, throwing it to the
Drew's a big Tom Brady enthusiast. So
I'm not. Oh my God!
I'm a Michigan fan. So
big Bill Belichick fan. So
oh my goodness! Why do you bring all this up, Kev?
You asked what his shirt said. He said what his shirt said. He said he was on it. I said you're a fan of who's on the shirt. That seems relevant to the conversation.
I mean, Kev's like that ex. You were just randomly walking around, and then it's like, oh, remember when you did this? I'm like, damn, let me live. Let me live.
She said you were scorned ex, bro.
I'm like,
that's not what I was expecting on this podcast episode.
Kev, what's crazy? I'm a hate to be the contrarian here, man, but Kev sounds like the type of dude you need around you, so that when you're doing something, he could be like, yo, you remember when you was. Because for good or bad, you're gonna be like, yeah, I do remember, and it's a lesson in that. So exactly. I can respect that.
I'm always gonna tell you what you need to hear. It might not be what you want to hear, but what you need to hear.
And guess what? And at the end of the day, what's gonna help you sleep better is the shit you needed to hear. The shit you want to hear, you kind of expected that already. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me
it's 20 minutes in.
Thank you, but like, tell me something else.
It's 20 minutes in, and Mariano's already my favorite guest on the show. This is.
It's just what it is.
I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this at all. Wow.
There's a lot of people in this world that needs wise words when it comes to dealing with shit, and there's a lot of people who deal with scorn exes.
Jordan of segues is back again. This is the Jordan of segues, Mariano. Michael Jordan of segues.
He's good.
I like it. I see it. I can see it.
Zion, man. Listen, man. I appreciate your contribution to the sports world. It's because we had nothing. Like everything surrounding Zion was about his weight. Is he going to be playing? And now he gives us something else that we can hang on to. I was tired of the same conversations about will he, won't he, was he. Let's talk about Zion and his tryst or his particular taste in women.
Oh man.
Man. So Zion pops up on social media for those who've been in the dark, or maybe in the smog, I should say, because shout out to Canada and the wildfires.
Damn. It's too soon, Case. It's too soon.
I can breathe now. I can breathe.
Right.
Not soon enough.
Man, they got you out of here. The wildfires got you out of here for that shit.
No, he no longer has 27 different devices. So maybe he can stay online this time. Yeah.
Now the stream was working fine. Out of the smog and the confusion of the week, Zion pops up with a pretty young lady. You know, what I believe is a gender reveal. I don't know if they reveal it's a boy or girl. You know, she looked nice. She's slobbing it down and everything like that. And people was like, "Yo, Zion is scoring off the court. You know what I mean? At least he got a game somewhere else, right?" And then somebody posted a clip, and I believe it was from Queen's Flip, and there's a young lady on top of a table doing a split, and the ass starts coming out. And I'm like, "Who's that?" He said, "Oh, that's the BM." I said, "Whoa, that's the BM? That's the baby moms right there." So, okay, he got him a lively one, right? And then all of a sudden, a bunch of tweets came out from a particular young lady. I won't post her picture, but for those who are familiar with the hubs and the bangs and the hamsters and all other videos, this is these sites that you be on.
Heard about those. Never seen them myself.
Never seen them myself personally, but
I heard from a friend about them.
Yeah. One young lady by the name of Moriah Mills decided to air out his dirty laundry. Now, I don't know the tweets verbatim. I just know that one of them started with "You let me spit. I let you spit in my mouth," which isn't hygienic. I'm not shaming your kinks, but a lot of people have white tongues.
Wait. You know what? Stop. Before you go on, I'll just like to interject. I'm not shaming nobody's kinks either. Get it how you live. Do what you gotta do. Now, what I don't understand about that tweet is your line of employment is adult film actress. Why do you think any of us give a fuck who spit in your mouth? That's all I'm asking. Why do you think we care who spit in your mouth? We know what we have seen the film.
We have seen them.
We've seen the film. It was a good film, but we've seen the film.
Yeah, like that's not anything like that's mild. That's like super mild because it's like you saying that you let me do something is like that's like the bar really for people that because you do other shit for money. So when you're off of work, like that's like saying I talk to people at work. Yo, I talked to you today. And I'm off today. It's like, yeah, this is just shit you have to do. Like, this is regular shit in the mouth. Like,
conversation.
We had a conversation. We had a fucking it's regular. That's super regular. Like, that's not even okay.
I let you.
Okay. Like,
I will say.
Hey, we've seen.
I will say my favorite tweet. Yeah, I would say my favorite tweet was where her randomly saying, "Oh yeah, you ate my pussy on the first lick. I know you liked it. You like that."
Oh.
I was like,
you ate my pussy. Oh my god! Again, I'd like to remind you.
I said at least he has that going for him.
I don't know if she knew. Like the Pelicans need to put her on the marketing team because that's the best promo you gonna get. Like you said, that nigga ate your pussy on the first link. You know how many joints gonna line up and be like, "Oh, that's how you giving it up?"
Right. Like, listen. The funniest thing though, for those who don't know who Moriah Mills is. Moriah Mills doesn't have activities on camera with men of color. Let's put it like that.
No.
Yeah, she's the Alexis Texas of porn. She doesn't engage in black on black activities, and
she's the Michael Jordan of adult activities. Because Michael Jordan don't like no niggas either.
I was wondering when he was going with it. What?
Hey, before today, the only time I ever seen a Michael Jordan represent porn was the nigga wearing the 23 like jersey, whatever. And so I want to thank Kev for giving me a new point of reference for Michael Jordan and porn. Like, thank you.
I'll take pictures with no niggas. Shout out to Chameleon there for that story, because when they said something about he said, "Fuck Michael Jordan." They was like, whoa, what did Jordan do to you? What the GOAT do to you?
I think Rick Ross might have the funniest Michael Jordan story like ever. Like he told a story. It was shout out to Jesus and Mero. You know what I mean, man? They can never take away what we had before, man. You know what I'm saying? But he told a story about Mike, and he was just like, "Yo, from now on, when I'm the same venue as Mike, I turn my back to him." He's like, I don't even let him see me. Like, hell no, I don't want the gift pack. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Ross, man.
So Moriah Mills doesn't perform on camera with black men, even though people have begged her. She's even had made statements and posts. You guys want to see me with a black guy, blah blah blah. So one of the tweets she said, "Yeah, you made me get knotless braids. You made me stop straightening my hair and get knotless braids and waist beads." I'm like, wait a minute, is that the default blackness look? Knotless braids and waist beads? Is that just that?
And then she was mad that he wanted to bring a thick white girl to their bedroom. I'm just like, how are you the one to get upset at this? You how?
Yeah.
Right. You anybody else? Like okay, but you.
Yeah, I just know that there was a tweet that got brought up, and I'm gonna just say that like Zion being a gamer and shit like that, like GG means something different to him, now. I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna say too much, but you know what I mean.
It just keeps on unraveling though, because some other chick came on and said something about a Balenciaga bag and all this other thing, and then another tweet came out from somebody else saying that this is a chick that Zion should be going for, and she said she curved them. It's like
I'm gonna tell you what it is, man. Like I'm gonna be real, because I sat back and looked at it, and I'm gonna tell you what it is. A lot of times, like people just people on social media who just have access to a social media, account, and they had an email to confirm it, right? They look at like people all day and be like, what I would and wouldn't do for this person. Zion is just one of the anime button-up niggas who made it. He popped off and got $200 million. And now all of the women that were at, that he would have wanted before, who he couldn't have got because he was just not in a position to get them, they're at his disposal. But I don't think he understands like who he is yet, really. Like I think he still looks at himself like I'm just Zion. And it's like, nah, bro, like you're somebody, because when you hit them up, their life changed from that day moving forward, like period. Like they're telling their family members, like, yo, I talked to this dude now. It's different now. Like I'm a different person now. I don't think he understands his star power yet, because if you could DM a woman, one of the baddies, and she hits you back and she already know who you with, like that's a different level of, what I'm saying? That's a different level of power out here, like to these young dudes. So he's not doing nothing else. He's not playing ball. So it's like you got time to do mad other shit. So you know what I'm saying?
I mean, Zion has more.
It's been a while, bro.
Yeah, it's been a while. As of right now, Zion has more money than sense, though.
Bro, listen. Imagine right now, bro. Like you are who you are. Everything is just what it is. They give you $200 million. Now everything you do moving forward is because you want to do it, not because you have to do it.
Roxy, what's up, man? Roxy, how?
This is what I'm saying.
So now,
but then think about this though.
I'm hitting up Rose Monroe immediately, but that's neither here nor there.
And imagine if you sent that DM and she already knew who you was, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I've been waiting." Like she in her head, she's like, "I've been waiting on this." So all he's really doing, he's living out all these niggas' dreams. Like, yo, I could just hit her up. She know who I am. I ain't gotta. What's your favorite color? Green. Nigga. Like whatever color, whatever.
What color that money is?
What you mean? We ain't gotta do none of that.
The problem with Zion is not that he's fucking porn stars, man. Like, do you? As long as y'all clean, y'all consenting adults, do what you got to do. But like, And to Mariano's point about him not knowing who he is, why are you selling this woman a dream? Why? Like, granted, she's a moron. Like, I'm not trying to.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But why are you? You don't have to. Like, you're worth $200 million. You don't have to sell nobody no fucking dream.
He's young. He's young. Sure, you do.
Yeah, and rich. But that goes to my next point. Bring back OGs. Bring them back. Like, just
the OGs will salute him. The OGs will salute him. Gilbert Arenas and them.
No, they weren't.
No, I'm gonna tell you what Gilbert Arenas said though. In that, people might get lost in Gilbert Arenas saluting him, but Gilbert Arenas also said like he had a cap. Like, yo, it was a shorty asking him for $2,000 a month at the time. You know what I mean? Given inflation and all that, might be something different now. But at the time, he was like, yo, give me that now. If you tell me I'm in the league making what I'm making $80-90 million. You want $2,000 a month for me to have everything I want and you to be what I want? Here you go. That's just it.
Right.
So.
But Zion ain't giving them no money because they talking about, the one chick said, I ain't get, you promised me this, you promised me that. I think Zion is just tricking on OnlyFans.
That's his mistake though. His mistake is he offered the shit that he would have to actually care about to give instead of the thing that's like kind of disposable to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, your feelings are real. So if you feel this type of way about this woman, like, that's different. You got $200 million and another contract coming soon. You can probably promise them money and be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'll give you X amount of money a month, and this is what we're going to have. This is going to be our arrangement. And I'm going to tell you another thing, too, about just dealing with women. In my experiences, a woman who fucks with you for who you are is not going to expose you. It's not going to be out here, like, saying, this, that, and the third. The only time a woman exposes you is when y'all had an agreement or arrangement and you violated that. Because they would rather not. Like, a lot of people look at women and be like, they just these dramatic, whatever but dudes be more dramatic than the women. So, like, that's another conversation. But these women, they value you giving giving them your word. Right. Yo, we gonna have this arrangement. Once you violate that arrangement, they're like, oh, holy shit, I've been holding down my part, you ain't do this. So if it was just about the money, it's different, but he out there like giving his heart up, like this loving basketball, and he losing. Like, what's going on?
Keep your heart 3 stacks. Go ahead, Jude.
I will say there's so much going on with Zion. The first thing I want to say is he has more money than Zion, but he's also 22. That's the thing. It's like he's 22, and I feel like if you give a young man that much money, who knows what as we can see with Zion, who knows what he'll do with it. But I think on his team, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure there are other veterans, but the prominent ones on the Pelicans are CJ Podcast McCollum and then Brandon Ingram, who's I don't know what he's So we got
CJ is like 30 and Brandon Ingram is like 24 or whatever. He's 25.
He's not old enough to fight on the
He probably doesn't have much examples to look.
This would never happen on the Miami Heat. I'll just leave it at that.
Happened in Miami.
Hazard would have shook his ass before that happened.
They should send all these dudes to talk to Kevin Garnett, Kenyon Martin, and like Gilbert Arenas. Like, send them to talk to them for like back-to-back weekends. You know how 2K got like the little, you go talk to whatever. Go send them to them.
That shit in real life.
Yeah, like go talk to them because like the OGs on teams, like you said, it doesn't exist anymore. Like back in the day, we had like a dude like Kurt Thomas or Fetus Sabonis or somebody on the team who was just an older guy who was around for different reasons. Udonis Haslem might be the last of a dying breed, bro. He might be it. That's why you hanging around so long. He like, yo, man, listen, like, nigga, this it. Once I'm going, it's done. The program is over.
And it's not even wild he's with porn stars. The wild thing apparently is a couple of things. He apparently has soda in the bathroom. I don't know why you're drinking soda in the bathroom. You must be having a grand old time there. You're sipping that purple Zerpo or something, I don't know. Something
what?
Purple Zerpo, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Zerpo. Have you been listening to hip hop on your own?
Man.
I have not been
We gotta go.
He's like that purple, Yerple. It's going down.
Apparently, he's taking all the women to the same hotel too, which is another. I think he's taking them all to the same. Yeah, he's taking them all to the same hotels. Like, they're going to run into each other eventually. And then I want to say there was one woman on Instagram who was talking about Zion. I was telling Case and Kev this. I was trying to read what she was saying, and I had no idea what she was trying to say.
Yeah,
the words are English.
She was basically saying he was supposed to trick on her. He never did, and she was mad about that. And that goes to Mariano's point. It's like
Mm-hmm.
You're 22 years old.
But yeah.
Yeah, you do. Like my thing is, I'm not shaming Zion for what he does. I think a lot. The fucked up thing about a lot of these conversations, when a certain segment of Twitter gets to these conversations, then it's like, oh, they want to start getting to the deep shit. Let's just keep shit surface. Yeah. Zion is a 22-year-old millionaire who is bored. Mm-hmm. He's been hurt twice. He's not playing ball. You know what I mean? He's not working out. Clearly, he's not working out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he has all this indisposable income around him. What else is he going to do but go on Twitch and fuck?
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna just be 100 with y'all right now, bro. Zion is how you said 22. If you would have caught me at 20 years old, you talking about all this porn star talking all that. If you'd have caught me at 20 years old, gave me $200 million and access to Italia Blue, y'all be saying the same shit about me. I'm gonna tell y'all niggas right now. For anybody out there who doesn't know who Italia Blue is, go do the knowledge, go do your research. And I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you would have saw me at 20 years old with $200 million and access to her,
hands
been the same story. It's just that he's Zion, and that's what I'm saying. The difference is I'm not Zion. Like, he gotta understand. He's Zion, and I think that a lot of these, the younger kids, they moving through life just as who they are on the inside, but they don't really understand who they are.
Right?
So it's like when you move in and you send a DM, your DM is getting put to the top of the list. These other dudes, their shit is probably 9th, 13th in the queue. You at the top of the list.
He's the prize.
Yeah,
he's the prize.
You're the prize for the prize. Like, you look at them as the prize, and they look at you as the prize. So it's mutual, but you don't understand the power that you have yet. That's what I'm looking at with Zion, because it's like nothing that he's doing is out of the ordinary of a young man. And I mean just a young broke man. Like, he's a young rich man. So his options are very much more than than the average. So when I look at Zion, none of this is that I'm looking at is like, I'm looking at him like, oh, he's bugging. I'm just like, man, you got to kind of get that under control, because if this is who you are, then cool. But let's kind of get some standards and some boundaries with this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine with Lionel Messi money now. Imagine we got that Saudi deal with like billions of dollars.
but you see these soccer players be getting these crazy deals, and they just say, "Yo, let me just find me a supermodel and hold it down." Like, let me date Posh Spice, or let me date this runway model. Like, there's a different horse jockeys. I remember I was reading Sports Illustrated this like a while ago, and he was just showing like all the sports jockeys, like I think it was like a body issue, and all of them are like really like 5'3", 5'2", because they're small, but they date these 5'10" Italians, Spanish supermodels, bad women, and it's like, I get it. If I had the money, like Mariano said, 20 years old, me, I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't know which chick to call. You know what I mean?
Prime Pinky. Oh, Prime Pinky would have ran me ragged. I ain't gonna stay here and hold y'all.
You see what I'm saying?
Even on Rodeo every weekend. Ragged. Just tricking for no reason. Prime Sky Black too.
Fuck the playbook. Fuck studying. Fuck practice. Like, yo, Pinky.
This goes back to my point, bro, because you see a lot of people sit on social media and talk about what they would and wouldn't do, and it's like, you don't know that, bro. If you woke up tomorrow with access to these women that you're talking about every day, the Brittany Renners and the Superhead and this person, that person,
and Brittany Renner,
your tweets gonna be different the next day. You're gonna be like, listen, I just think we should all just look at each other as individuals, and we should just never. You're gonna be doing this. You're gonna be doing this a lot when you talk. Like, point at your temple, yo. I just think that. So it's different. You gotta understand. It's different, bro. It's just different. It's very different.
If I were Zion, I'd go on Hooked on Phonics, and I'm gonna tell you why. He should go on Hooked on Phonics and learn 3 letters: NDA, and it's spelled NDAs. And he should make sure to learn NDAs, and he should utilize them going forward. There are certain athletes, certain all-time scoring athletes right now that I'm sure use an NDA. I won't say who they are because I'm afraid I don't want them to come out.
James.
So moving forward, I feel like this conversation is going to catapult LeBron James into a different conversation, because it's like, bro, he's been there 20 years, and like, do we have something like this about him that we can prove?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do we anything, any of these these athletes out here that's getting in trouble with the law, getting in trouble at home, or bringing any type of dirt on their name, we can't find something that we can prove and say he did other than the 8-point game, bro. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing on his resume that we can be like, you did this. Right. Everything else is like
it's speculation.
And nigga, I think you did this. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
and LeBron's been famous since he was 15, and we have nothing on record.
Right.
That's gonna be his legacy. Regardless of how people look at his championships or the scoring title or the assist or anything, one thing that won't be questioned is him as a man. Like LeBron James, the man. You look at his family, his home life, and all that. That's going to be his legacy when he leaves. That's going to be the bigger legacy than basketball. To me, that's going to be the bigger legacy than basketball.
And they tried to catch him slipping on video. I remember that video. I think it was Miami, and a chick walked up to him, and he was like, he was like,
yeah, he was on the boat, right?
He was like, he was like, them niggas, not me.
One video where they were near a staircase. They were near stairs. And he went down the up one because a group of was trying to holler at him.
He was like, no. I'm not tonight, baby. No.
I'm out of here today. You're not catching me on no camera, buddy. No, ma'am.
Also, shout out to him for spending that much money on his body because him being that old at that time, making those movements is not that easy. You know what I'm saying? Right. As we know, getting that old, like, hey, that shit paying off. Those little swift movements. Let me get out of here.
Right.
Imagine how many old niggas got in trouble just because their body couldn't handle the move that they should have made. Like they was like, damn, I should have dipped out to the left, but shorty I'm right here, but my knee can't handle that right now, so I had to do that. Yeah, like imagine that. That shit happened, I'm sure.
Yo, man. The one thing I'll say about Zion, and the last thing I'll say is put on a damn condom, bro. Let's put on a listen. I mean, I am pro do what you want, but let's stop getting these certain particular women pregnant. You know what I mean? Just unless you really in love, because he looked happy. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to say nothing negative about the young lady because I don't know who the young lady is. I don't know personally.
Wait. By certain particular women, what do you mean by that?
Women in the evening.
I knew that was coming.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Wow.
Professional entertainers.
I thought you was going to dance around that. You hit it right on.
No, I'm going to this. Like, listen. The thing is, and what my man said it today, the reaction to him getting this one woman pregnant means everybody was only after him for the bag. And they know that this chick just secured the bag for at least 18 years and beyond. She secured the bag. And whether they make it or not, there's going to be some money coming her way. There's a 22-year-old man, and he's going to be 40 by the time it's like, all right, I can finally like be done with it. And I don't know how many contracts, how long his body's going to hold up. But Zion, get in shape, get in the best shape of your life, and get you that because you have mad contracts. You're going to have at least 2, maybe 3 more big money.
As long as he can do a windmill dunk on the fast break for like 4 games for the next like 3 seasons, he's gonna eat. As long as he can have like a clip circulating social media where he like damn near broke the rim at least 2 times a year, like out of 82 games. Right, he's gonna be good because people are gonna be good.
Like, so just keep get your ass in shape. Because he popped up at a charity joint giving away $250,000, so I know he was even more mad. You know what I mean? Shorty was talking about $100K. He popped up at a charity event today, gave him $250K. It was smiling about it. So
interesting timing on the whole charity event.
Right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But
I know they was throwing that shit on him too. Be like, they know he was like out of shape and all that. They're like, let me get this nigga out of here quick because I know he's not in the gym. He not finna do no type of none of that. Like they was like, bitch, they was in the group chat like, bitch, I'm about to do the. You remember how in Paid in Full he was like, yo, you ain't see when I put my leg up. Like they was doing that in their group chat. Like, yo, you ain't see when I did the. You know what I mean?
And I understand why Shorty won because he did that split on that table. I'm like, all right.
It was like I wouldn't have did it. But I understand.
I understand. But does he need to calm down? You don't need to do too much because you might end up like this nigga right here, man. Paul Pierce doing too much yet again. But we have video. to show you why Paul Pierce. This dude just stay doing too much.
My girlfriend for the day. They got a website that you can hire girlfriends for the day.
Stop, man.
And so I got a girlfriend for the day.
Stop, man. Stop.
You can hire girlfriends for the
Stop,
day.
man.
I went on the website and I hired a
Look right
girlfriend for the day.
Look, Collins. There go Collins. There go. Look at D Wade at the game. Okay, D Wade.
Paul Pierce ain't Paul. See, when Kevin says you need OGs, this is the reason why I don't agree. Because Paul Pierce is one of them niggas who just ain't never learned. You know what I mean, from his mistakes. Like
Did Paul Pierce get
maybe
fired?
maybe if he had an OG, he would have.
I mean, he's supposed to be the OG right now. He wouldn't be the guy Zion should be calling.
But he ain't have proper OG training.
Yeah.
He had to go to OG boot camp.
Kevin Garnett was trying. First of all, that's on Showtime. Kevin Garnett was trying so hard to save this man from himself.
So hard.
Like he was like, you ever go to your man's crib and he arguing with his lady, and he's trying to bring you in a conversation. Hey, yo, Kev. Hey, didn't I say that?
Listen.
The Knicks.
Nothing gets me to not understand English faster than that situation. Like,
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all.
Remember what I said? Like, no habla.
No,
I'm gonna tell y'all the funniest situation I had with that. We was at one of my man's house, right? Like, we knew that him and his wife would have like arguments often. Like, them shits was getting serious. You know what I mean? Like, he was coming outside to tell us, like, nah, bro, shit getting critical, whatever. So we at his house one time, we chilling, and she was like, she walked through, she said something to him, shit go back and forth, and she was like, yo, you shut the hell up. And he was like, you shut the goddamn up. And he laughed at his own joke, and we was on the couch like, oh nah, they might not recover from this, my nigga. Like, this might have been it. So those conversations, I tend to be like, I want to laugh, but boy, this shit might destroy 3 generations after this if I laugh right now. So let me just relax, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's different.
And like Jude said, this man already got fired.
Was he on like a boat or? Yeah, he was on like a boat or something.
He was at a casino or some shit like that. I think he was gambling.
Was he at a casino?
He might have been his own shit.
He was in.
He might have been in like a kickback setting, right? And there was some like casino type actions going on.
Some more women of the evening, because I think somebody pointed out, one of the ladies of the night were in there, and he was doing too much. ESPN is a Disney Channel, so they was like, hey, we can't have you here. And he's like, well, I ain't want to be here anyway. You know what I mean?
Listen, I tweeted this out when I saw the video. I said, if KG ever has to be the voice of reason and remind you not to get too crazy, you got to go reflect near a small body of water immediately.
KG was talking, and KG was raising his volume so much to try and get this man off the topic. And Paul Pierce was not having that shit.
He said, bro, look. He said, yo, we live. He said, yo, look right there. He said,
he tried to get, bro. And there's an extended clip where Paul Pierce finally realized this is actually a live stream. After KG told him that like 18 times.
Right.
He's like, oh,
yeah. Like, he was like, yo, look right there.
Time.
Yeah.
Paul Pierce needs to relax, man. Like,
I feel like he hasn't recovered from the they don't love you like that shit, because like he's been since then he's been trying to prove, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not me just like on some whatever shit. I'm just saying like what it looked like. Like, he's been trying to be such a real like, yeah, I'm gonna give you whatever.
Yeah, look at
and it's
me.
like
I got holes.
Yeah, like oh, this what y'all praise, ain't it? I'm this, I'm that, and it's like, nah, come on, bro. Like, you say.
Like, I feel like with Paul Pierce, every time I hear about Paul Pierce, it's never for anything good. It's always for just some stupid shit.
Jude,
this is crazy because it should be, because like his footwork.
Like, I don't even know.
He was incredible.
Like that, but
90% of basketball players need to go watch Paul Pierce's footwork tape in order to be better at to advance the sport, because he wasn't never faster than anybody. But he gonna give you 30 because he see your back foot planted over there, and he know I can get to my spot because you over there. His footwork is crazy, but is he? Let me ask y'all this: Is he the most? I don't even want to say disrespected, but like, is he the most like the guy who has he's Hall of Fame, but then people look at him and they like, Paul who's Pierce on that list? Him, Reggie Miller, like who's?
Paul Pierce is built like an auto mechanic. So
he
is like Paul Pierce doesn't have he Look like the dude that you go play rec league ball with, and he has like the dirty gray sweats on and like a Kevin McHale jersey on. And you like, yo, this nigga about to be trash. And all of a sudden he just dropping rec league record buckets on you. Like he never looked like a guy who played ball, but he was an extremely talented basketball player. I think the problem with Pierce was he bought into the Celtics pride once they finally won the championship. And he outlasted Antoine Walker, who a lot of people felt like was better than him. You know what I mean? Because when Antoine was there, he was shimmying and shaking. He wasn't really talking a lot about Paul Pierce. He was talking about like he was a complimentary player. But Antoine Walker was supposed to be that guy in Boston. You know what I mean? So I think combined with this idea that he wins this chip, and this is the thing that him and KG has been hanging on as well. And I think that's why Ray Allen kind of like dipped back as well. Because Ray Allen was like, these niggas is tripping. It's only one ring. It's only one. Like, it's one.
Nobody's gotten more mileage off of one title than them.
Nah,
Doc Rivers.
Like you would really go back and look at them and think they won 4 in a row.
Right.
I think most of their titles come from like pre-integration.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. The Celtics have one title in the AOL era. One.
Yeah.
One.
And that's why maybe that's why it's so celebrated, because it's like, yes, we knew we was good enough, and it's like,
right. They have one fucking title since '86. One.
Like, and that's why Draymond had to tell him the real, like, you ain't Kobe. Yeah, they don't love you like that.
They don't love you like that.
Yeah, like, nigga, you think you better get the Kobe treat? Because Draymond probably was really saying what the rest of the players didn't want to say to his face, but Draymond was in on them conversations, and he was like, "Oh, you really think them niggas love you like that? Oh no.
Yeah, there's no farewell tour for you, bro. Like, it was one ring, and it was a great moment for Boston.
Let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think Carmelo's farewell tour would have looked like?
Well, don't get Kev. You know Kev don't.
No. That's why I asked this for a reason.
If Carmelo
came to, and I want Kev to respond first, because I want to hear this. What do you think Carmelo's farewell tour would have looked like and should have looked like?
What it would have looked like, I think there'd have been a fair amount of respect for him, in a way that a lot of people love Carmelo. I'm not one of them, but a lot of people love Carmelo. A lot of people appreciate his game for what it is and all that. I think it'd been fine. What it should have been, also, I think what it could have been and what it should have been kind of a line. I think he should have been properly respected for what he was. He is a Hall of Fame caliber basketball player. Would I be part of these festivities? No, but I think he should be properly respected as he was. Personally, myself, that's what I think.
Okay.
I have no strong feelings about Carmelo, but if I were to guess, I think his farewell tour, it's going to happen with the Knicks somehow, some way. Somehow,
what do you mean it's gonna? He retired. What do you mean it's gonna happen? He retired.
Ideally, he would. Sorry,
dude, this is a sports podcast. Come on, man.
He retired. What you mean?
Kev's hate just overwhelmed my senses. I'm sorry.
I said nothing haterific on this podcast. I did none of the hateration in the dancery today. None of it.
I felt the.
I wasn't trying to get muted by Dictator Case either.
Wow. Now I'm a dictator. Wow, that's crazy.
Did you not mute me 3 times?
Yes, listen, I muted you. You bad mother Carmelo Anthony. I had to mute you.
I think Kev kept it calm, man. I think Kev kept it calm. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, I do.
And that's all I did on the podcast after he retired, but he muted me anyway for saying things like, Mike, come on. One of the things I said was,
Jude was here.
Passing is part of his job description, and he muted me for that. Think about that for a second.
Shit.
No. Mariano, he interrupted me when I said a lot of people wanted him to be this passer, and I think they did it only because LeBron. You know what I mean? And
no. Go find the clip. We're not gonna fucking. You're not gonna lie.
I was talking and you cut me off. That's why I muted you. I was saying,
you said some fooly wang, bro. That's why I cut you off.
That's not a fool. That's
a new one.
Why would he pass too? Passing is part of his job.
To who? What do you have? 2.3,
all Carmelo's has bad teammates. That's what we're doing.
Man. Anyway, how Melo's retirement tour should have been. The Knicks should have definitely gave him a contract, a 1-year deal, and begged him to come and because the thing about the Knicks
on some basketball shit, on some New York shit.
Both.
Okay.
Both. Because like Carmelo brought the excitement back to the Garden for at least 3 seasons.
Okay.
Like no one was checking for the Knicks until Melo came. And even though he came under the guise of, you know, wanting to be here and all of the bullshit, whatever, nobody was checking for New York basketball till he got here. And when he got here, it was like, all right, he had these big moments. He broke the Garden record, which needed to be by a Knicks player. The big shots versus the Bulls. 50.
All right, cool. We don't gotta get into that. Like,
I know you're a Chicago Bulls fan. I know, respect.
Nah, because like still to this day, man, like seeing him do this fucking dribble moves on Luol Deng, and I was like, man, you got to be fucking kidding me. Yeah,
I was losing my fucking mind when he made those shots.
I just have one question, real fast.
Go ahead, Kev.
Why would the Knicks have to beg Carmelo to do anything? Just genuinely ask.
Listen. The reason why I said beg is because the Knicks need some sort of spark to distract from Julius Randle. Someone who like Julius Randle needs somebody to like take the heat off of him. And someone to kind of like shield him for all the shit that, you know what I mean? Because listen, this man had surgery like how many weeks ago, like a week or two ago, whatever. Julius Randle came back from an injury, played, dropped 19 points. He's been hurt ever since. He needed surgery. People would drag him through the mud. Imagine if Melo was on that team and Julius was like really hurt. And he decided to sit down, and Melo had to come in and play hero ball and maybe drop 20 or 15 off the bench. He needed a shield.
So the Knicks. So let me make sure I'm following this correctly. The Knicks begged Carmelo Anthony to be on the team so he could take bullets from the worst playoff performer in the NBA. I just want to make sure I'm following this.
Oh, come on. All right. This is why I can't. This is why I can't do with you, Kev. This is why I can't do with you.
Oh,
to be honest, that's how I feel like his farewell tour should have been. He should have been in the Knicks. For basketball reasons. They needed a shooter, and also because he did a lot when he was here. You know what I mean? He didn't do the most. He did a lot, and he brought excitement back to the Garden, and it kind of did him dirty, bro. They wasted one of his best years, like his best.
Let me ask y'all this, right? Who do y'all think he did? It may not even necessarily be more for, or his impact was felt more. Was it Denver or was it the Knicks? Because every team after that is like whatever.
Denver. It was. I would say Denver. Denver.
He made Denver relevant.
Right. He made Denver relevant, and also that trade that they pulled off kind of gave Denver the pieces to get to where they are right now. Because
they got Jamal Murray off of that.
I was just about to say, like, Jamal Murray is the direct result.
They are still eating off Carmelo.
100%.
Yeah. Right. So Denver the most. But the run and the impact in New York was beautiful. Like I'm coming home shit. You know, it was fun, man. It was exciting. And the Knicks haven't had a superstar. Like even when we had Amari Stoudemire, we were trying to give him superstar. We were trying to give it to him. And you know, he punched the fire hydrant, the fire extinguisher, and breaks the glass and fucks his hand and shit like that. We were trying to give him the city, and it's just like he wasn't ready for it. Melo came in like, I'm ready for it all. I'm gonna take the shots, I'm gonna miss the shots, whatever, but I'm ready for it. And there's not a lot of people who come to New York and just say, like, see how Jalen Brunson is playing right now? That game six, and it came down to the last seconds, and the decision was for him to pass the ball. To like make the right pass. If that's Melo, it's like, yo, you know Melo's gonna pull that shit, right? You know he's gonna pull it. You know what I mean? And people wanted Brunson to pull, even though people wanted Brunson to get the final shot. Even though the right basketball play was to pass to Josh Hart, he tried to pass it to Randall, which I don't understand why he tried to pass it to Randall. But a guy like Melo would have got rid of the ball and ran back and demanded it and tried to get that shit back to pull the game. So we know that. We know that.
Carmelo. Carmelo won one playoff series with the Knicks in how many years? Like 7? 8?
All right, man. Moving on to the next topic.
You gotta let me.
Another NBA player that people love to hate.
Jalen Johnson won as many playoff series as Carmelo Anthony did as a Knick, and it took him last year. Now you can go on to the
Damn. Are you gonna allow that case?
Oh shit.
Jude, listen, Jude. I was told I was told I was a tyrant. You see how he showed his true colors. Right? You see how he showed his true colors, right? He couldn't wait. He couldn't wait to be like, yo, how many?
It was a needless shot.
You know who people hate more than Melo? This man right here, Chris Paul. Chris Paul. Mm-hmm. I remember I said years ago. I think I said it to Kev too. I said Chris Paul deserves the Melo treatment. He goes, "Oh, what do you mean? Chris Paul is good." And blah blah blah. Only to watch Chris Paul get the Melo treatment. Years later, people hate this man. They talk about how he don't go far in the playoffs. The man went to the finals. It's not his fault. It's not like his fault. It's not his fault that they couldn't win in the finals. It's not his fault that he got hurt and shit like that. Chris Paul is a top 3 point guard in the NBA, like all time.
They hate Melo more than they hate Chris Paul though, because Chris Paul is still in the league.
That's true. That's true. And
Chris Paul's a way better basketball player, but that's neither here nor
there. Anyway, Chris Paul has been waived from the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix front office have done a horrible job since they left the finals. A horrible. I like the KD trade is good on paper, but you gave up so much for a guy who's injury prone and who's old and wishy-washy. You know what I mean? Now there's talks about getting Harden on the team after you fired your coach. You hired Frank Vogel.
You hired Frank Vogel. That's the worst part about all.
Yeah, that's such a weird hire.
That's the most important piece to all of this, because no matter who you get, no matter what happens with this roster this summer, with you waiving Chris Paul and all that, you have to go play for Frank Vogel. You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
Shout out to Stefan in the Discord. Shout out to Stefan in the Discord. Hope he's watching.
Frank Vogel. Do I think he's great? No, he's obviously flawed. Like the rotations are weird. If you watch a Frank Vogel coach team on a daily basis, you're gonna rip your hair out. I'm not here to argue that at all.
Yeah,
I will say this:
I like my beard.
None of the options were great. Number one, and number two, like he coaches a great defense. We could argue about who he plays, the offensive side, which is not his forte, all that. So they're just bringing them to listen. Make these guys good on defense. And we'll let 1 and 7 or whatever the fuck Kevin Durant's number is these days. No, 35. Like we'll let them focus on the offense, and you just focus on the defense. I don't think they're going to go anywhere, but I could at least squint hard enough and understand the logic.
Yeah. Frank Vogel seems like a lateral move, though. Like I feel like if you were going to hire Frank Vogel, you might as well have kept Monty Williams.
Well, it's not that simple because, and I'm saying this, I know people in Arizona. They wasn't fucking with Monty. I'm not gonna disclose anything further than that. They wasn't fucking with him. Like they like him as a person. They think he's a decent person. They didn't like working with him.
Yeah.
And
they
wasn't fucking with him. That's part of the reason that he got canned. Because listen, what he did in between the lines really wasn't enough to fire him. Like they traded everything they had for KD midseason. You wasn't supposed to go to the finals with KD, Devin Booker, and this podcast as the rotation. Like
right.
With that.
I like how Kev always throws us in.
I was playing 20 minutes in the conference finals, bro. Of course you're supposed to fucking lose. Come on, man. You're supposed to lose. They used that as we could get out from under this guy now. Plan, and then they did it. But it's not as simple as this coach is a lateral move. They just wasn't fucking.
That's the thing about production intolerance. But that's the whole thing. Like production intolerance. Like if you look at somebody who, even if you just work a regular 9-to-5 job, right? You got somebody who can do the job, and it's like, all right, yeah, he good, but we can get somebody else in that can do the job, and like I actually like working with them. I probably would rather take that then, because like I know that I don't fuck with him. Let me see at least if I can do this, but I know I don't fuck with him. And a lot of people forget that basketball is still. It's a business and it's about wins and it's wins based and all that, but like it's a job still. I still have to enjoy coming to work. I still have to, want to, after the weekend is over, after my vacation is over, I need to know that I'm coming back to work with somebody I want to work with. So all that coaching shit, the attitude, like that matters. People be like, yo, he could do this, he could do that. Yeah, but is he a whole ass nigga or not? If he is, then get him out of here. But if he not, then like let's get somebody else in here let's give him a shot. Maybe the next person to come in and be like, all right, let me just adapt to the climate here. Let me just see what's going on and get in where I fit in. And you might like coming to work then. You know what I mean? Like, it's still a job.
Which makes the James Harden rumor so weird because was it James Harden Kyrie didn't like each other or James Harden KD? Was it when I get confused with the drama?
It was Harden Kyrie. I don't think it was a
maybe James Harden will come there.
I don't think it was a dislike. I think it was more Harden realized what the writing was on the walls were. He was like, I didn't sign up for this shit, which makes perfect sense because I don't think anyone signed up for whatever Kyrie's going through. But to Mariano's point, no, that makes sense because look at Mark Jackson and Kerr, right? People didn't think Mark was a bad coach. They just felt like, people don't like him for whatever reason. As much as Steph Curry and everybody else said, no, he was good, he's cool, everything like else. Most of the reports coming out of Golden State was, hey, people don't like him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's the same roster. If you want to say Kerr incorporated the triangle, whatever the case may be, I think Kerr is more of a lateral hire than Vogel being a lateral. I don't think it's a lateral hire. I think that's just, I don't know who's that pleasing. Like, we see what he did in Indiana. It wasn't bad in Indiana. It was just didn't work out. It didn't happen in Orlando, clearly. And, he went to LA. I don't know. I guess to make LeBron happy. I don't know why that happened. And they got the bubble championship, and he got jettisoned the year after. Like, so it was like, Frank hasn't had his longest tenured coaching was in Indiana, and he wasn't bad in Indiana. I just think a lot of guys in Indiana ran into a wall. Paul George was his health. Hibbert was just like he ran into a wall. A lot of guys started running the walls like, it's not the same team. He's had a lot of bad luck. Do I think they make Phoenix better? Like, no. Do I think, bringing in a guy like who they bring in? They brought in the guy from the Knicks, James Jones. I think they brought not James Jones. Who didn't they hired? This hired what's the name? Perry. Did they hire Perry from the Knicks?
Oh, did they? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they hired him to be a part of the front office. Stuff like that. I don't. Those moves don't move the needle for me. I think Phoenix just gave up too much in that trade for KD, and they have to now figure out how to make this roster make sense. And I don't think Harden doesn't want to play basketball. Just to say, Harden plays.
That should be Zion's OG, James Harden. James Harden knows right away. Just go to the strip clubs.
I don't get strip clubs.
I know that joke hit. I don't
look. Strip club studio. He don't want to play ball though. Harden showed us 2 games that I can still play ball, but I don't want to play ball.
Like he's naturally a hooper, so he's going to be able to get off a couple games where it's just like, wait a minute, you forgot I'm James Harden. Let me show you real quick. Like, win, lose, or draw, I'm James Harden. Like, let's
right.
But in the grand scheme of things, just like, who cares? You know what I'm saying?
Who cares? Yeah. Like, I don't think Harden's a dude that's like dying to get a championship. I think Harden's a guy that's like he'll go to Phoenix. I don't think he's going to Phoenix. I think he's going back to Houston, because he just loves Houston. And the funny thing is him no longer wanting to be around Morey. It is the most interesting thing about that, because he followed Morey from Houston to Philly, and people say he really liked playing for Morey and stuff like that. And now he want to go back to Houston. It's like, he must have really fell in love.
Wait, real quick, because we were talking about Mark Jackson, right? I want to roundtable this. I want to get like a real quick reaction from y'all. If you could have Mark Jackson as your coach, right? One season, guaranteed to win a title, but after every single home game, he's going to give your wife a very long hug that you're going to question. Would you do it, yes or no? Yes.
What the fuck?
Or no?
For a title?
That's a very just.
It's very specific because he interrupted a broadcast one time to say how fine Savannah James was. So I'm asking. Yo. Listen, respectfully, is all I was. So I'm asking for a title. If you're an NBA player and it's like Mark Jackson's gonna be your coach, but you also know that like he's gonna give you a hug, give them hugs to your wife. That's like.
Mark Jackson.
There's a key.
Yeah, it's like
it's a long church hug, Jude.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm a player, no. That's going to be a firm no for me. If I'm a fan, way different question. Player, no. I got my limits. I'm good, dog. I'm not. You ain't finna hug my wife like that in front of me every day, no, sir.
If I'm a player, I ain't married anyway, so there's no way I'm gonna be a player.
In the hypothetical given, I'm married, so we're gonna go with that. And no, you're not gonna hug my wife like that every game. No.
Okay.
I'd hit it out the park. Like, no.
No question.
Yeah, that's a bit much. That is definitely a bit much.
No question was so much.
No question was like.
Or better yet, I have a hypothetical for you. Mark Jackson, same thing. But every time he sees your wife, he's like, respectfully, you're fine as shit. Would you still want to make this coach?
No, I'm swinging on him first day of practice.
That pact is gonna be broken when we fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the Draymond Jordan Poole shit. It's gonna be that video is gonna be out there forever.
Drop his head.
Because it's gonna be like if he said respectfully, as soon as he said respectfully, I'm winding it up. And as soon as he say when he got done, like that shit already charged up, like it got the fucking fire around it. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's probably not gonna go the way you thought. Like, yeah, you're not gonna do that. Yeah. But
oh man. Listen,
yeah, but to go back to the central Chris Paul shit getting waived, like he won't fool me again. That's the central. That's the to sum it all up. To sum this whole conversation up, Chris Paul won't fool me again.
The thing with Chris Paul is kind of like I just told y'all what was going on with Monty. Chris Paul is kind of hard to work with. Like, yes, everything is going to be organized. Everything is going to work how it should. He's also a 37-year-old man in an NBA featuring 23, 24. He's of a different era. Like, the point guards and the floor generals of his era comported themselves in a different way than what we're used to now. I'm not saying this for better or for worse. That's just how it is. So these dudes are just not trying to be talked to like that by some fucking 5'10", 37-year-old who used to be great. Like, if he was still as great as he was, all right, maybe. But it's like, my brother, you got the T-Rex arms and you can't jump over a phone book. I'm not really trying to take this from you, brother. So it's like...
So he's a micromanager.
Yes.
Chris Paul's best attribute right now is selling.
That was a pun, Drew. They didn't catch it.
His best attribute is selling the foul.
Oh, God.
Go up and just throw his hands up, and it's like, oh, yeah, put him on the line. So,
Drew, they didn't catch it, Drew. I caught it.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. He's a microman. Good one.
I try my best.
Yeah, but that's what it is, man. Like, are you trying to work with this guy every day, especially given that he's not what he used to?
I just realized. I'm sorry, Case. I just realized my own thing as well. I didn't realize.
Oh, that wasn't on purpose. Oh, good call.
It legit was not on purpose.
But yeah, microman is very funny.
You should have said nothing, bro.
Oh, the micro. Oh, yeah, it was good. Even though it was accidental, it was good.
Yeah, listen. All right, Chris Paul gets waived, right? All things considered, 37 years old. I'm gonna ask you guys this: where does Chris Paul go? That's not the Lakers.
Phoenix.
Celtics.
You said Phoenix?
Yeah.
Celtics.
Back to Phoenix?
Yes.
Wait, so he waives this to sign back? Why?
Yeah. Like, I think he clears waivers and he signs back. This is a fancy way to restructure his deal. At least that's how I look at it.
I'm not mad at that.
Because they weren't paying him $30 million. That's for goddamn sure, right? So obviously, like, half of it was guaranteed. Just like, listen, we're not doing this. But if we could get you through waivers and nobody's picking this shit up. So if we can get you through waivers and re-sign you, I think that's what's going to happen. Because I don't think there's a big market for a fucking 37-year-old abrasive point guard who is 5'10". Nobody's climbing the fucking ladder to sign the guy. So all right, I think it's the Clippers. The Lakers are going to be involved because they're the Lakers. I personally don't see it happening because I think the Lakers are cheap. So I don't think they're going to be like, what we're going to do? We're going to pay $10 million for this guy. I don't think they're going to do that. Like, I think they're just going to be like, listen, they're going to re-sign D'Angelo Russell. I have my opinion on that. I'll leave that for another show. They're going to re-sign the white boy, Reeves, and then they're going to call it a day. That's how I think their offseason going to go. So it's like, if it's not them, I don't see any, like, the Celtics, that makes sense in theory, sure, but you want a 34-year-old coach and that team with Chris Paul on it, basketball makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Jaylen Brown might dust that guy 2 quarters into the season. Do you want this? I don't know.
I mean, to be honest, the only team that really makes sense to me where Chris Paul can go be effective and, like, be the biggest voice is, like, back to OKC. You got a bunch of young guys who are like on the cusp of being great, and they just need some direction and some guidance and like an OG voice. And like you know, like we all just talked about, like he's a point guard. Like he's looking for other people to score first. So he could go there and make the most change, I think, immediately. Every other team that's competing, how reliable is he? You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to pay Chris Paul this money that we could have paid somebody else, and we might not be able to get him at an important stretch of the season because his hamstring fucked up. Like it's going to happen. This is not me just speculating. It's going to happen. It's going to be a 13-game stretch where you might get him for 2 of those games. His hamstring is fucking up because he's old, and that's just what it is. Like that's not even a slander. That's just what it is. So I think if you send him to any team, or if he goes to any team, I think OKC might be his best shot at being like the most effective, because every other team is like the Rockets they tuned out. They on some whole other type of time. I think the Thunder are actually thinking like, you know what I'm saying? But the Rockets is like,
Chris Paul would do some harm to somebody if he signed with the Rockets.
Yeah, like within a week.
Like, bro,
we'll have a documentary by February about like the Rockets with Chris Paul, like in 2023. But you don't want that.
Yeah, I will say I'm gonna throw in a wild card. I'm gonna say the Clippers as a backup to Westbrook. I think I think LA is. I think if the Lakers will pass on him, I think LA is a team that he could go and just be that veteran on that team as a backup point guard. Or I'm gonna say the Knicks. Brunson doesn't have a real backup. I mean, he will say quickly, but if the Knicks should definitely look into making a trade somewhere to get something back in return that makes sense. And if
Chris Paul signed with the Knicks, they should just arrest Tom Thibodeau from the minute his signature hits the fucking contract. Just arrest Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau is going to literally run that man to death.
Yeah, he's going to play. He's going to play.
He made 3 straight baskets. Okay, you're going to play 46 minutes tonight, big fella. In October. You're going to play 46 minutes.
And then after the game is over, you're going to help clean up the fucking stadium. You're going to do everything.
Right. And then we're going to help clean Chris Paul's body off the court because he played 46 minutes.
But listen, the Knicks are going to lose Fournier. Not lose. They're going to get rid of Fournier. You're going to get rid of Rose. I feel like it makes sense if the Knicks go down that trade route because people are saying the Knicks need another piece. I think the Knicks need a wing, like a real wing. I don't know if that's going to happen. Could be Obi. It could be Quickly. I think Quickly has probably the better value to trade. But Obi probably end up being a scapegoat. You could put Quickly at the 1 or the 2. It doesn't make a difference. But the Knicks want to make some room.
None of this matters as long as 30 is on the team. None of this matters.
All right, Julius Randle hates.
As long as you got that team, none of this matters. No disrespect intended, but it's the truth.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think the Knicks and the Clippers make the most. Not the most. I think the Knicks could make sense. I think the Clippers are a dark horse team just because Westbrook can't be a starting point guard for the season. He really can't. You can't go into the season with him being a starting point guard. You need someone who's going to push him for that position. As soon as you start playing bad, we're gonna bring this man off the bench. You're gonna go back to playing off the bench.
I just think the OKC is low risk, high reward. With the Clippers, they're gonna expect Chris Paul to come in and make a difference. Because if they lose again with Chris Paul again, they're gonna be like, oh, this nigga can't even serve as a mentor role. Get him the fuck out of here.
I mean, that's what we kind of thought when he went to Phoenix. We didn't think they would go to the finals. We thought, oh, Chris Paul's in Phoenix. He's gonna right the ship. They're gonna win some games. They went to the finals. I don't think anyone had the Phoenix Suns going to the finals with Chris Paul.
And then the next season, more people bought more stock in the Suns because they was like, oh shit, they went to the finals and lost, but they'll be right back.
And they lost in Game 7 by 942 points.
Exactly.
And guess what they did the next year? They lost again by 943.
Next year, they lost by 842 points.
And so that's what I'm saying. He's just at that point where I think that he's finally starting to understand that as great as he is and as great as the legacy of Chris Paul, when we talk about Chris Paul and say he was one of them. He's not going to be a guy who won a championship probably. You know what I'm saying? Which is and it's cool because he probably made his own peace with that. He talked about that recently. He's been vocal about that in interviews about what it means to him and shit like that. But sometimes it just doesn't play out that way, man. It's just not in the cards for you to do it. Sometimes a team that plays just like you might get their shot before you, and when you come along, that shit ain't flying no more. So it's just
right.
It is what it is. It's a timing thing, man.
I remember Chris Paul for 2 things recently. his State Farm commercials. He's made a lot of money from that prophecy for those State Farm commercials. And then finally, I'll remember that every playoff series that I can remember since he's been with the Suns, he's missed at least one playoff series. And it's usually the one they're about to get eliminated. And I don't know if it's like he did a deal or something, but it's crazy. Every single one they're about to get eliminated, and he missed.
Yeah.
Listen, the time where a team is like a guaranteed championship team, and Chris Paul could go sign because now with the new CBA is going to make it harder to sign veterans to these certain deals. Like I would say, a team like Denver, who correct me if I'm wrong, a trade happened today, right? A trade happened. OKC.
Yeah, it was like some picks or some shit like that.
Yeah, I'm like, are they allowed to make trades in NBA Finals?
Word.
I'm looking like, yo, so I would think like a team like a Denver Nuggets team, like, hey, maybe I could come. Like, it's hard for you to now pick a team and say, let me be a bench player and win a championship. Like, there's no head. Like, after LeBron retires, there's no more head and shoulder favorites for championships. Like, Denver being in the finals right like this year was unexpected. I think we're finally going to get some parity, and I think what that does, especially the new CBA. You can't just pick a team and say, I'm going to go take the veterans minimum and win a chip. Like, you're really going to have to go and figure out where you fit to win a ring. Like, you're not going to be like Gary Payton and, floating around from LA to Miami or
Shane Battier.
Going for, it's not going to be like that anymore. So it's going to be a lot of changes. I don't know. We know for one thing for sure, Chris Paul wants to win a championship. I don't know which team puts him in that position next season. If Denver wins, I would think maybe I don't know if he angles to go to Denver. I don't see Chris Paul going to Denver. I really like what you said, Mariano, about the Oklahoma City thing, because now that they're trading one of their top picks, and it seems like they're going to probably go a different route when it comes to building out this roster.
Yeah,
Chris Paul.
I just think for business decisions, like it makes this, what I mean? Like it makes the most sense because like he gets the chance to go out on a term of like us looking at him like, oh shit, Chris Paul did a lot for this team, whatever. But if you put him on a team that we're expecting him to win,
right,
it's like,
right,
he's just gonna get the jokes again. Like if they don't win, that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's like his daughter at school catching jokes.
Yeah, listen.
Oh god,
that like when he said that story. I mean, I remember Chris Paul crying at the free throw line. I'm just like, yo, this dude really wants to win. And I don't think it makes him more likable, but he really wants to win a ring.
Mm-hmm.
But when you mentioned his daughter and all that stuff, I was like, damn, man, kids could be so cruel. Oh well, nigga.
Damn. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
It's a part of.
You gotta think about it like this. Like let's really balance that out, right? There's some kids at school getting called musty. You just saying your dad won't win a championship. They can't call you broke.
They can't call you broke.
They just say your dad won't win a chip.
Like,
all right, cool. Like because then as a kid, you could just do the knowledge and be like, all right, well, I ain't winning chip either. So what you talking about?
Right.
We can come up with stuff for that. But if you get called like musty or some shit like that, like you can't come back from that. You can come back from your dad not winning the chip. Like my dad is still Chris Paul. Like, it's
Chris Paul.
it's different. Yeah, it's different. Man. It's different level.
Moving on to the NBA Finals, since we're talking about basketball. Listen, man, Denver has us in the bag, pretty much. They're winning right now, but 2 30-point triple doubles in Game 2. Miami is trying. I'll give them that much. Miami's not falling over. They're not falling over. Like they're trying, but you can't do nothing with that team, bro. Jokic had a 20 rebound triple double.
Bro, listen. Before we even got to the finals, there was a shot that Joker hit over AD. Bruh. That told me everything I needed to know about basketball. Fuck just this year. It told me everything I need to know about basketball and the way that the pendulum swings, because he hit a shot that I looked at when he let it go, and I was like, oh, Lakers just finna take this out. And that shit hit number net. And I was like, you know what? Basketball is over this year. I don't know if everybody else knows, but like this is done now. The Nuggets are gonna get a ring. Basketball is done now. Like it's just what it is. So when you see him, the thing about Jokic that I like a lot is like the numbers make sense to both people: the people who watch the game and the people who only look at the stats. If you look at the stats and you see he had a triple double, you'll look at that and be like, "Oh, well, they probably won." But if you watch the game, all his stats look like double. His 30 points look like 60. His 10 assists look like 20. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
really
a different, it's a different type of guy, man. Like he's special. Yo, is special.
It's his world, bro. We're just living in it. It's his world right now. The basketball world is Jokic's. Like,
it's different.
It's his moment. Yeah. It's his time. We all see it. Like sometimes you just have a year. That's just your fucking year. And this is his year.
Even the way he answers the questions, like when they talk to him about like, yo, what about you being the first player with da-da-da? He like, man, listen, honestly, like, it's just a stat, bro. Like, I'm just trying to get to
He's boring as hell, and I love it. Honestly. He's so fucking
and boring. I love it because,
like, I'm not here for none of this history shit, bro.
All of the NBA
I just want to
purists,
win and go back to my horses. Bro.
Right. All the NBA purists should be eating this up because, like, this is what, like, the golden era was about, right? Like, just winning. But they all try to find narratives around, like, why this is, like, the worst finals ever. No. But it's like, if you're a purist of the NBA, you should love this. This is...
Yeah, watching Jokic is fun to watch. Like he's the funny thing about Jokic is his 3-point shot because his shot motion looks so awkward, but more times it's not like hits the net. But his shot motion just looks kind of like
he doesn't fucking jump.
He looks flat. Like, it's a flat shot.
Watching somebody like Jokic makes me glad that I don't root for an NBA team anymore. Because like watching him flame broil any team that I root for, all while never jumping off the ground, would just make me so fucking furious. It would make me furious, even though I know like he's wildly skilled. But obviously, I'm not trying to undermine him. But like you look at Jokic and it's just like you're not supposed to be able to do all of this to us, and then he's just.
If somebody showed you Nikola Jokic from the shoulders up, you would look at him and be like, "He's gonna do what in what game against who?" He's gonna put up a triple. But then when you put him on tape. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is so. It's just a different. It's different. Hopefully, this makes like the AAU go back to like learning the basics, learning how to dribble, learning how to fucking, you know what I'm saying, read pick and rolls and shit like that. Because like everybody's just obsessed with having mixtapes and do the move and be there, do this. Like, yeah, but let's learn how to play basketball again. Like, let's learn how to do the basics because. All of the, like they call Tim Duncan what? The big fundamentals.
Big fundamental.
For a reason. For a reason, bro. He mastered the most basic shit and said, you know what? While y'all all over there trying to windmill and do all this flashy shit, I'm just gonna get 2 points. It's the same 2 points. Right. Yeah. It's the same 2. Yeah. Like what the fuck?
Listen, if this was the 90s, he would be Arvydas Sabonis. That's who Jokic would. He'd be Sabonis. For those who don't know Arvydas Sabonis, you know his son, Domantas Sabonis. Yeah. And you see how he plays. Yeah, that's pretty much the European game right now.
Smooth, man.
Arvydas played in Lithuania. He played in Spain. He was a 30-year-old rookie who could shoot a 3, rebound. And pass. And
get along with Bonzi Wells and the rest of them. That's most important. Right. More important than the skills is him getting along with that.
Right. Get along with a bunch of
them. Like,
one of the wildest teams in NBA history.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And he was like maybe the glue.
Right. But that like he was like, and that was considered, and during those times that was considered a top European player. What Jokic is doing is like unprecedented for because people talking about making a comparison to Dirk, and the thing about Dirk is Dirk was just Kevin Durant before Kevin Durant. That's who Dirk was. He was just Kevin Durant before Kevin Durant, without minus the dribble and athleticism, but he still got the job done. He wasn't a great rebounder, wasn't a great defender, but that's who he was, right? But you got a guy like Jokic who, like you said, from the shoulders up, you look at him like, yo, I don't think he can play ball. Yeah. But when you see him take AD off the block on a spin inside and dunk, it's like I didn't know Olajuwon, bleached his skin.
Yeah.
That man footwork is nasty.
The passes that he does, like the tough passes.
Some of those passes are insane.
Not even the passes from him looking at the passes that he just makes on some like, oh, you over there? Oh, here. And it's like, what the how?
Right. Like Magic Johnson passes. Like the dude is like it's ridiculous. And Magic Johnson's the greatest, I guess I would say outside of Pistol Pete, like the greatest passer, like as far as the art form of passing. and Jokic is doing it flat-footed, like just standing there. Like Magic did off the dribble. Jokic is like, whoop.
Yeah, and Jokic is one of them dudes who sees it before it happens. Like it's a rare trait, but he's one of them who just the game just happens and he just sees what's going to happen before it happens. And he's an absurd player.
He makes basketball so fun to watch that it's like only people who like basketball will like watching Jokic play. Like a lot of other people might look at him and be like, "Oh, well, what is But it's like for us, because I can tell that we all in unison here. Like, yo, this dude is elite. You're watching him make basketball plays at his height, and it's like with this team. How many people in NBA history? Fuck right now. Like how many people in NBA history is doing what he's doing with this team? Like this is not. Let's be real. Like the supporting cast that he has makes sense for what he does right now.
Right.
But all time, we're not talking about this roster without him. If you replace him with anybody else, this roster is
doesn't work.
It doesn't jump off the paper and look at you like a championship team compared to the Celtics or the Lakers or this team or that team. It's because of him. It's
the crazy thing is with this roster, like this finals right now, I think Jamal Murray is the only guy who's really doing something. Like Michael Porter's just existing. Aaron Gordon doing something here and there. KCP's found 3-point shooters.
Aaron Gordon he's playing.
It's mostly Murray and Joker.
Yeah, it's pretty much been a two-man show for this.
You know what you're getting every single night, and you still can't stop it. It's one of those things where it's just like this is what it is.
This is where Michael Porter. Before the finals, having like what he had made like 100 threes in the playoffs, like before the finals, like that ridiculous, like 100 threes. Like, somebody was posting a bet. He's like, I'm betting Michael Porter 4 threes. I'm like, why? And he said he'd been doing all playoffs. And I looked, I was like, holy shit, this man's been 4 or 5.
He might have 3 in the first half,
And now in the finals, it's like, he is ice cold. He is ice cold. So this roster doesn't 100% agree. This roster, you look at it like this doesn't work without Jokic.
This is not an NBA Finals roster. Like, let's be clear, because a lot of talk is made about like the Miami Heat and this undrafted guy, whatever. But it's like, bro, let's look across the board. Is this Nuggets roster all time? No, it's not at all, bro. Like let's not downplay what Jokic is doing. Like this is we're out of February now, bro. We can praise the man now. Like this ain't February no more. Like this is what it is. So we can directly give this man credit. He's doing like real shit. Because I know a lot of times a lot is made about that. Like, oh, no, look at the numbers. When he has a triple double, they usually win.
Yeah,
because of it. Triple double in the playoffs, like,
and the crazy thing. And the crazy thing is, it's like Spoelstra was. I mean, it was this weird dialogue a couple days ago with we should let Jokic score 40 points. It's like, okay,
cool.
I mean, there's that correlation equals causation thing. It's not that, but it's like,
if you want to go home, cool.
Yeah, no NBA coach is going to be like, hey, let this guy score 40 points.
Let him go off. Let him go off.
We'll win this game because
like nobody has ever said that before. So I don't know.
But you know what the idea is? The idea is you can't score all the points. So I get the logic behind the question, and people have said that often about stop everybody else. Like let LeBron go off, but stop everybody else. Let KD go off, but stop everybody else. And I don't think people understand if you can score a 30-40 clip, and one guy scores 10, and somebody scores 5, and somebody scores 8. Those points add up. Yeah. Those points add up. So it's like I don't. You think if Jokic is having a 30-point game, he doesn't have 10, 15 rebounds, he doesn't have 9, 10 assists. Like if you're saying, if the question was, is the strategy to limit one or two of the things that he does well? That's a better question. Like, is the strategy to stop him from rebounding? The strategy from stop him from collecting a bunch of assists? Because right now he has 3. And in game 2, it just seemed like, hey, he's just not able to pass the ball. Not pass the ball effectively, but guys were just not making shots. So guys making shots.
Look at it like this, right? Like, if you're a Knicks fan, you know about the Jason Capono years, right? Or Steve Novak, or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Steve Novak, right? Like, Steve Novak is who I Steve Novak might have had a game where he had 12 points, but y'all won by 35. Those 12 points made the difference in that game because it was like 2 back-to-back threes, and then it was 2 back-to-back threes the next time. So it was 12 points, but it was like, God damn. So those players that Jokic has on his team, when they got 9 points or 10 points, it came directly off of pivotal plays where it was like, man, that 10 points made the difference between us winning by 13 or losing by 5. Like it's clear. You can see it.
Right. And that's the difference between the Nuggets and the Heat, because the Nuggets can win a game with a guy like Gabe Vincent or Struss being the leading scorer.
Yep.
Right. The Nuggets can't win games like that. like if Murray has 30 points, great. But you know who's right behind him? Jokic with 28.
If KCP is the leading scorer on the Nuggets, they probably lost about 40 points. And that's no disrespect to KCP. It's just another, compliment to Jokic and Murray and like the team that they established right now. Because if anybody other than them gets the best scoring night, it's like this ain't LeBron and Boobie Gibson. This is the finals, bro. Like this ain't something.
Right. So it's definitely. I don't feel like the Miami Heat are in over their heads. I just feel like their brand of basketball works if on the opposite side Jokic's not there. Yeah. Like if this was against the Lakers, I think they have a better shot at. Yeah, I think they have a better shot against the Lakers because it's like you're like LeBron's battling Father Time and AD picks and chooses which game he's going to be healthy. I guess I don't know. Like game 1, I'm healthy. I'm gonna drop 40. Game 2, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna pinch nerve in my neck, and then I'm gonna drop 2. Whatever the case may be. You can beat a Lakers, but you can't beat Denver because Jokic's going to play the exact same way every single night.
And Mike Malone ain't scared to leave Jokic in there too. That's the thing I noticed. Like even when the lead is up to like 13, 14 points, he was like, it's up there because you're in there standing in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not get away from the shit that works. So a lot of credit goes to like Michael Malone. I know he.
And the Nuggets are also they're bigger than the Heat, while also being more athletic. So it's like you can't just they're bigger than us, so we got the speed advantage. No, you don't. Actually,
no, you don't.
So it's like, what are you supposed to do? Like the Heat are just they're punching out of their weight class. Like how it ends, I don't know, because the Heat have this weird devil magic, and I've been wrong about them the entire fucking post. Like,
everybody has, bro. Trust me.
So it's like I'm not here to bury them. It looks dark for them right now. I'm not here to bury them because they've made me eat my words several fucking times. But in this series, they are punching out of their weight class. The Nuggets are just more talented, and they're more talented by a decent margin.
Yeah,
and the type of shit that Miami has advantages over other teams on, like hustle and all of that. Like if the Nuggets play as hard as you do, where's the advantage? You ain't got nothing. Like, you have nothing.
I'll tell you what. The only thing
coaching,
the Nuggets,
but like
the only thing the Nuggets needed was after game 2. Uncle Jeff said it's the fucking finals, and you see what happened in game 3. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all he had to say, and that's Jeff Green, like saying, "Yo, it's the finals. What's up?" So imagine what Jokic is saying or doing. That's, you know what I mean? That's like really motivating. It's like, bro, it's the finals. We are us. Let's not fuck around and play games with this team. Like, because Miami, they're here because like they're here, bro. Like we have to play them. Like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like they're up 8 right now, and it seems like an 18-point lead, bro. To me, sitting at home. So I know what it feels like to the players in the game. Like, god damn, like this is over with in 5 games.
Shout out to Jeff Green. Shout out to Jeff Green because Jeff Green is the youngest old nigga still dunking violently too.
Right.
Violently.
Like, I think my ACL might got like another 3 weeks left of like me really being able to do what I want to do. And Jeff Green is still dunking. But my ACL is giving me over the past couple
and like viciously dunking on people. Like not just like hand barely over the rim. No, like putting people
young nigga dunks. He's doing like young dunks, like
putting people on posters yearly, dog. Like sports in the top 10 dunks.
I think them calling him Unc is probably extra motivation because when you get old enough as a black man, they start calling you Unc. You like, all right, now I gotta show out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, cool. People around my neighborhood call me OG, and I'm like, shit. I
gotta do something. So now you got something else added to your list of errands that you didn't even expect. I gotta do something. Now I gotta do something to show these young boys.
I gotta knock a young nigga.
I gotta do something. I gotta touch rim. I gotta do something, bro. I gotta do something today. I didn't plan on doing when I woke up today because somebody called me off. Somebody called me OG. All right, well, come here, real quick. Put your hands up. Let me see what's going on. So
you gotta put him in a headlock.
Something
really about like
half Nelson at least.
Like that Nolan Ryan headlock.
Like Nolan Ryan.
That Nolan Ryan headlock.
Nolan Ryan. The funny thing, me and Ken talk about that Nolan Ryan headlock all the time because Nolan Ryan had no business pitching at the age he was pitching at that time, and that was his last year pitching. He put
Robert Ventura wanted
Robert
smoke, and he
Ventura
asked for it from the wrong person, buddy. He got to the mound, and no one said, "Oh, you want this? Okay."
Oh, word, yeah. Like you don't know what he's going through at the crib. Where he's like, yo, I promise you. The next nigga that played with me, and then you was the next one. Imagine being the next one after somebody's just said the next one,
right?
And
right.
You like, damn,
right?
Like,
and Nolan Ryan had made it a habit after he retired to like keep throwing the ball like at his farm. Like, see, like, he was throwing like 86 miles per hour. Like he was like 56 years old, and like we clocked Nolan Ryan the gun at 86. I'm like, yo, go sit down, bro.
What you doing? Yeah.
What you doing? Like.
What you trying to prove, man?
We're trying to prove.
What are you trying to prove?
Listen. The funny thing about that story was it was Nolan Ryan's last year and Robert Ventura's first year. That was the funniest thing. Nolan Ryan was I think he was like 46 years old.
Yeah, when he put the league.
And Robert Ventura thought, yo, you gonna try the old man. The old man said, no, you not.
No, you not.
Yeah.
Like, you'll think the next time you try old man, like, oh, I'm done with you. You'll think the next time. You'll think through your actions before you charge them out next time.
I respect that.
He put that man in a headlock and did not let go.
I
don't think anybody has ever actually gotten more punches off in a baseball fight than Nolan Ryan. Seriously, I really don't. Like, Rodor got like the cleanest shot, and he got all it took was one.
Yeah.
Like Ryan got like 5 or 6 off before they finally got him off of Robert Ventura.
I respect that.
Me too. He put him in the head like he let him know, like, yo, this is not what you want, young fella. This is not what you want.
Valuable lesson was learned that day.
Valuable lesson, bro. That's he would never charge the mound.
That car ride home was silent. Like, damn, man, like, you got to reflect. Like, it's what it is.
Oh man, we have reached the final portion. Marion, I don't know if you ever seen this portion of our program. Very popular portion of our program.
Let's get to it.
A portion of our program that we like to call Jude's Grooves. Now,
I saw it on the rundown, and I was like, you know what? This is the part that I'm gonna fuck with this. I know I'm gonna fuck with this.
Jude had a little rough week last week with Jets Green Center. Shout out to Frank from Jets Green Center. I don't know if he's going to rise to the occasion this week, but cue the music.
It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Pull up a seat and get off your feet for Jude's Grooves.
Oh, yeah, Jude's Grooves. Okay. Now, Jude's going to be reading a little rendition from Cameron. I'm not going to say the song.
All right.
Hopefully he can land this, and I hope he don't do the ad-libs like he did last week. Go ahead, Jude.
Well, here it goes. Don't get scared away. So, go ahead, stupid niggas. Go fuck with them chicks. Yeah. I'm the third little piggy. I'm gonna fuck with them bricks. Yeah, bricks. Better yet, the bakery. I got pies and cakes. Nigga thinks doubling is turning 5 to 8. I turned 8 to 20, 20 to 100, 100 to 1,000, that to 100,000 in front of housing. Close them all down. Dogs, no one's allowed in. I'm copying everything. I'm done with browsing. Give me that. It's the Top Don GlockPalm.com. Get your shit rocked, man, like Hasim Rahman. And I'm extra scary. CEOs. All the fronting ain't necessary. Why? I fuck your secretaries. All for information. It ain't necessary. Nah, man. They in love like the 14th of February. Huh? Play him like April right before I slide off. It could be March 2nd. Sound like July 4th. Blatt? What's blatt? Halloween or Memorial Day. Or at your memorial be 1 year from this got pretty dark pretty quickly.
Yeah.
At your memorial be 1 year from today. All you'll think it's peach and peachy. I leave you Reese Peacey. What the fuck? All my bitches rock Christian Dior, BCBG.
Round phony niggas get the heebie-jeebies. Hungry hoe say killer, feed me. Calm down, mom. Easy. That verse, I love that verse. What?
We're almost done. Talk greasy. Please me. Get my man Wheezy. Still rock L's to squeeze.
Elise.
He ain't no tease, but measly.
Not
dog
these
angels. Killer. Please believe me. Wow. But at least it's not quite
That's
a
one of
sexual.
them. I ain't gonna
It's
lie, you
not
did
quite
your
a
thing.
sex-
Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, for you not being like familiar with that, you did your thing with that up to a certain point, and then it was like, all right, let me get this. Let me spin
It's
this.
because some of the songs Kev has me read out, it's talking about like pussy farting and all that stuff, and just like I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
You know what's
This
crazy?
is easier to get
Cam got a bar about pussy fart. He said, where should we start? Bad and the goodie part. How I hit it from the back.
Listen, I had him read a verse off of Sucker or Not.
Oh man.
Entertainment. I'm saying after we're done.
Yeah, please do. Because I need to know like what verse it was. Because there, like you had it for, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jude, like you had it for a second.
I had it for a second.
Because I love that verse. Like I'm telling you, the whole time when you watch this back, you're gonna see I was rapping this shit with you word for word. Like, you know, like I go to you know, all my daughter ballet recitals and all that shit. Like they had a teacher on the side, you know what I mean? Like point of reference. Like, I was on the side basically, like, yo, yeah, like close the mall down, dog, and what's allowed. Like, so you did your thing. And it got to a certain point where I was like, all right, bet, like, let's do it together now. You know what I'm saying?
That's fine. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But you did your thing. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I gotta give you your credit for that. I'm not gonna hold you because that's one of my favorite verses ever. And I gotta respect you for that. You did your thing.
Wow.
I just died.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just died.
Wow.
Oh my God.
He did his thing on that.
Quality.
As soon as he started rapping it, I was like, oh, that's that. Oh.
You're too kind. Thank you.
I just died, bro.
Quality entertainment.
Holy shit.
Are you gonna survive?
Yo, I was trying to do. When I said cut, I was trying to do with the Hennessy.
The Hennessy, yeah.
Cut. Oh God.
That's a classic clip, by the way.
Oh shit, man! Look at this shit. They up 11 points now, B. They up 11. This shit feel like, well, they're up 9. It feel like a 28 point lead. Like, it's crazy.
That was another Jude's Grooves. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
How the Jude, man? Yo, this I don't know what y'all been saying about Jude in the past and none of that. What y'all gonna say about him moving forward? But this one right here, Jude did his thing. I'm not gonna hold you. I gotta give him that. He did his thing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say that.
That was the most positive guest we've ever had.
Hey man, you know what I mean? That's what I love, man.
I love it.
Thank you. Means a lot.
I love it.
It took many readings to get to this
He
point.
said you was doing your thing up to that one point, and I bring it. The liquor.
Once it got to that point, I was like, all right, bet, let's do it together now. I got you. I'm gonna get you over there. You know what I mean? We're gonna get there. You feel me?
We got there.
You. Yeah, we got
there. Went down the wrong way. Came on my eyes. Oh my God.
Now you say, listen. This now. Before we wrap this.
Oh shit.
Now you see, like, if Zion is seeing that type of shit where it's coming out the eye, you know, never mind. I'm not doing that.
Wow.
Don't even worry about it. I'm not even going. Never mind.
Yo,
got it.
Make sure you follow Mary. I can barely talk. Make sure you follow. Yo, I'm fucking done. Make sure you follow Mariano on Twitter at MarianNoo. He's the host of All for the Love podcast. Content creator, writer for Barber's Chair Net. Make sure you check him out. Great dude.
Yes.
Great tweets. Great show.
Appreciate
Follow
y'all, man.
Kevin Lewis. I'm really like struggling. Follow Kevin Lewis at KayleeW24. Follow Jude Truth at Jude Truth. Follow Middle Initial Podcast at MLPod69. If you're on Twitter, follow us at middle _initial_ pod on TikTok. Don't follow me, but please call me ambulance because shit.
But stop giving Kevin a bad name too, man. That's my dog. Like, stop giving Kevin a bad name.
Kev give himself a bad name.
I'm talking about just the people, period. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's supply, like, don't give my man Kevin a bad name. My man's a truth teller. He's saying what need to be said. Yo, you might not want to hear it, but guess what? I bet you be better because of it.
Yo, Jude, are you shocked? There's somebody came on the show. This is episode 130. This is the first time I heard somebody say something positive about Kevin Lewis.
You know why? Because listen, man, the real gonna always connect, man. The real gonna always relate.
My God,
That's all it takes. So now, guess what? So now the person that clicked on this at episode 130, they're gonna go back and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit!" Now they're receiving the Kev Gems with a new perspective for the first time.
You know what I'm saying?
This is the whole thing, bro. Like we gotta.
This sounds like a collusion case.
This sounds like this sounds like they were texting each other.
Nah,
like,
man. The universe made it this way. That's really all it is.
Oh my goodness!
I just want to on the record. I didn't pay this man for this endorsement. All right, I just want on the record. He
because
Kev,
I've been following. Listen, me and Kev have been following each other for years.
Long
man
time.
Never changed. Now, however you feel about him is whatever, but he never changed. You gotta give him that. You gotta give him that. At the minimum, you gotta give him that. It never changed.
Kev, you just got the strongest. You just got the strongest endorsement ever. I hope you run with it.
Bro, I'm clipping it once we're done, and I'm putting it up on the Middle Initial Podcast.
That's what it is,
Twitter, and I'm gonna retweet it every day. And so I'm gonna push my propaganda. Goddamn it!
That's what it is, man.
You just gave this man his wings. I need to go get some water. I'm fucking dying. Stay inspired by 69, y'all. Peace. We see you. We see you.